हेलो एंड वेलकम बैक टू योर ओन यूट्यूब चैनल योर ओन पाठशाला ज्योतिशाला। फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप सभी? आशा करती हूँ आप सभी अच्छे होंगे और पढ़ाई जोर शोर से कर रहे होंगे। कैन आई आस्क यू हाउ इज़ द जोश? डेफिनेटली योर आंसर शुड बी द जोश इज़ क्वाइट हाई। तो फ्रेंड्स, इस वीडियो में मैं लेके आई हूँ ICSE 2025 की हिस्ट्री की एक लेसन है। लेसन का नाम है द नॉन अलाइंड मूवमेंट, जो मैंने अपने ऑफलाइन बच्चों को समझाया और सिखाया मेरे स्टूडेंट्स को। तो मैंने सोचा क्यों ना मैं अपने यूट्यूब ऑडियंस के साथ भी इसे कुछ शेयर कर लूँ ताकि उनके पढ़ने में थोड़ी सी हेल्प हो जाएगी। यदि आपने पढ़ लिया है तो इट विल बी अ ब्रश अप लेसन फॉर यू। Let me explain that is meaning of non-aligned movement. The non-aligned nations aimed at keeping away from the Cold War. Non-aligned means that nations which are non-aligned judge each issue on its own merits and do not toe the line on one or the other superpower. So they are not in, see, non-aligned, the members who are participants of the non-aligned movement, the countries which were the members of the non-aligned movement, they were not participative in any of the teams. That is, the World War was divided into two halves, so they were not participative of any of the one side. They were independent of their own. Jawaharlal Nehru said, non-alignment does not mean passivity of mind or action. It does not mean submission to what we consider evil. It is a positive and dynamic approach to such problems that confront us. This was said by Jawaharlal Nehru. Meaning of non-aligned movement. The non-aligned movement originated in the Bandung Conference of 1955, organized to bring together the leaders of African and Asian states whose problems were almost alike. The non-aligned leaders sought an identity separate from the two power blocs headed by the capitalist America and the communist Russia. The first summit of non-aligned nations was held at Belgrade in 1961. This is an important point to remember, that the first summit of non-aligned nation was held at Belgrade in 1961. Architects or the founding fathers of the non-aligned movement were Jawaharlal Nehru of India, Marshal Joseph Tito of erstwhile Yugoslavia, and it was Abdel Nasser of Egypt and Sukarno of Indonesia. This is important point to remember, that when the first non-aligned nations held their conference, it was held in Belgrade in 1961, and the architects were, or the founding fathers of the non-alignment movement were, Jawaharlal Nehru from India, Marshal Joseph Tito of erstwhile Yugoslavia, and Abdel Nasser of Egypt and Sukarno of Indonesia. These were the four members who were the founding fathers of non-aligned movement. What are the features of non-aligned movement? Features of non-aligned movement and non-aligned movement features of non-aligned alignment and non-alignment movement are as follows. Firstly, non-alignment does not mean isolation. Under this, you have to elaborate the point also. There are 4 points here, and I'm giving you the heading and also elaborating it. As Jawaharlal Nehru, the first point is non-alignment does not mean isolation. So under this, the elaboration is, as Jawaharlal Nehru said, non-alignment does not mean passivity of mind or action. It would be wrong to maintain that non-aligned nations were disintegrated in world politics. They rather tried to strengthen ties of peace and friendship with all nations. Coming to the second point, non-alignment neither means neutrality. In the event of a war, neutral nations keep away from the war or such other crisis. They do not intervene on the side of any country or one country against another. As against this, the non-aligned nations help in resolving the crisis. The non-aligned nations, for instance, played an active role during the Congo and the Cuban crisis. Non-alignment is a positive approach to problems that confront us. Coming to the third point, the non-aligned nations do not lose their identity. They judge each issue on its merits. In other words, during the Cold War era, they did not toe the line of one or the other superpower, that is America or Russia. This line means that they are not participative on either of the sides, neither on the American side nor on the Russian front. The fourth point is, non-aligned nations maintained that they were not a bloc. They constituted a group of like-minded nations having similar aims and objectives. So this non-alignment, the countries or the nations which joined the non-alignment movement, they were not part of any of the blocs, neither of American bloc, neither they were part of the Russians. They had their own identity, and they were a group of like-minded nations which had the same aims and objectives. This was what non-alignment, this was what features of the non-alignment movement. Okay, let me explain you about Panchsheel. These are the non-alignment chapter, and under this section you have the Panchsheel, which means the 5 principles. Panchsheel means the 5 principles of moral conduct. Lord Buddha had laid down 5 principles about how to conduct ourselves in our personal life. So far as international morality is concerned, the agreement between India and China on Tibet emphasized 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. These principles became the bedrock of the non-aligned movement. In 1955, President Sukarno of Indonesia hosted a conference of 29 Asian and African nations at Bandung. In the communique issued after the meeting, it was stated that the leaders subscribed to the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. Now, what was that? What were those 5 principles for which Panchsheel was known? The very first point is mutual respect for one another's territorial integrity. Coming to the next point, mutual non-aggression. Coming to the third point, non-interference in one another's internal affairs. Coming to the fourth point, equality and working for each other's benefit. And the fifth point is peaceful coexistence. So these are the main 5 principles of Panchsheel. I should repeat. First one is mutual respect for one another's territorial integrity. The second point is mutual non-aggression. The third point is non-interference in one another's internal affairs. The fourth point is equality and working for each other's benefit and peaceful coexistence. In the context of Panchsheel, coexistence means that all nations and systems of government should exist side by side. In other words, no nation has a right to impose its system of governance or economic and social policies on other nations. So these were the these were the 5 principles of Panchsheel. Yes, friends, if you do like my video, please like and share with your friends, and also do let me know in the comment section as to what kind of videos you would like for me to upload it for you. And yes, if you have not subscribed to my channel up till now, then do subscribe to my channel, and also you can say along with me, क्योंकि पढ़ेगा इंडिया तभी तो बढ़ेगा इंडिया. Yes, friends, see you soon in the next video. Till then, bye bye.